Hebrews 6:19. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. And then it says something about this anchor that makes it different from every other anchor. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain. This anchor doesn't reach down, it reaches up. Every anchor I've ever known works by reaching down. You drop it and it sinks and it grips the bottom, the seabed, the floor of wherever you are. And it holds you by gripping what's beneath you. But Hebrews 6:19 describes an anchor that works the opposite way. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain, which means it reaches up past the visible into the holy of holies, where the promise is kept, where Jesus is gone as our forerunner. And that changes everything about what I'm anchored to, because if my anchor reaches down to the bottom of my circumstances, then my stability depends on the seabed of whatever I'm going through. And some seabeds are not stable,
but if my anchor reaches up behind the curtain
into the inner sanctuary, then my stability depends on the most stable thing in existence, the throne of God, where the promise is kept.
Not anchored to the bottom
of my circumstances,
anchored to the top
of His throne.
The anchor reaches up
behind the curtain,
where the promise is kept.
Anchored to the promise.
Anchored to the promise.
Hebrews 6:19.
Anchored to the promise.
Firm and secure.
Anchored to the promise.
Not to the bottom of my circumstances.
Anchored to the promise.
Behind the curtain.
The anchor reaches up.
Not down.
Not down.
Anchored to the promise.
To the throne,
where the hope is kept.
Anchored to the promise.
And I've tested both kinds of anchor in my life. The down-reaching kind that grips the circumstances, and the up-reaching kind that grips the promise. And the down-reaching anchor failed me every time the seabed shifted, because it was only as stable as what it gripped, and what it gripped was my circumstances, which are not stable by nature. But the up-reaching anchor held through every shifting seabed, because it wasn't gripping the bottom of my situation. It was gripping the throne of God behind the curtain, where Jesus went ahead of me as the forerunner. And the throne does not shift, the promise does not move, and the anchor that grips the promise holds. Regardless of the seabed I'm floating over, the seabed shifts, the throne does not. My circumstances move, the promise doesn't.
Anchored to the promise.
The anchor reaches up
to the thing that never moves.
Anchored to the promise.
To the promise.
Hebrews 6:19.
Anchored to
firm and secure.
To
not to the bottom of my circumstances.
Anchored to the promise.
Behind the curtain.
The anchor reaches up
to the throne. Here's why the anchor holds. Jesus went behind the curtain as a forerunner on our behalf, which means He took the anchor of my hope and He set it Himself in the inner sanctuary at the throne. And He set it personally, which means the anchor is not just attached to the promise, it's attached by the one who is the promise, and He doesn't let go of what He said. Anchored to the promise by the one who is the promise. It holds because He holds it.
Anchored to the promise.
Hebrews 6:19.
Firm and secure.
Behind the curtain.
Not to the bottom
of my circumstances.
Anchored to the promise.
The anchor reaches up.
Jesus
set it Himself. Anchored to the promise.
It holds.
It holds promise.
Anchor to the promise.
Mm-hmm.
Anchor to the promise.
The anchor reaches up
Behind the curtain.
mm-hmm.
Anchor to the promise.
It holds because he holds it. Before the first morning, before the first word, before the foundation of the world was laid, before there was a record to be chosen for or rejected for, he chose. And the one he chose was you. Ephesians 1:4. He chose us in him. Before the creation of the world, I wanna sit with the timeline, because the timeline changes everything about how the choosing works. Before the creation of the world means before I existed, before the record existed, before any evidence that could have informed the choice was available. He chose with full knowledge of everything the record would eventually contain, and he chose anyway, which means the choosing was not based on the record. It was based on something in him, not something in me.
He chose us in him.
Before the creation of the world, to be holy and blameless in his sight, not because we were,
Before he chose,
because he chose us
to become
what he was choosing us for. The choosing precedes the becoming. Chosen
before the foundation.
before the record existed.
Chosen before the foundation.
Ephesians 1:4.
Chosen him.
Before the world was made. Chosen
Chosen before the foundation.
not because of the record, because of the one who chose.
Chosen before the foundation.
You were chosen before there was a world to be chosen in.
Chosen before the foundation.
And the implications of being chosen before the foundation, my significance for how I understand my standing. Because post-creation choosing is conditional on something, post-record choosing is qualifications attached. But pre-creation choosing predates every qualification, every disqualification, every chapter of the record that would have been the deciding factor in any system based on merit. And he chose before any of that, which means the choosing cannot be revoked by anything the record added after the choice was made. The choosing precedes the record, and the record cannot reach back to change a choice made before it existed.
To be holy and blameless in his sight.
That's the destination of the choosing. He chose us toward that, not because we arrived there first. He is working us toward it from the choosing he made before we existed.
Chosen
Before the foundation,
Ephesians 1:4.
before the world was made.
Chosen
Precedes the record.
Chosen
Before the foundation, the record cannot revoke what was chosen before it existed.
Chosen
Before the foundation,
You were chosen.
before the foundation, before the world had a morning, you were chosen. Before the record had a first entry,
You were chosen.
before the first decision you would make that would eventually complicate how you understand your standing, you were chosen. And that choosing is the foundation that everything else either rests on or tries to replace. And nothing that the record has added since has the authority to undo what was settled before the record started.
Chosen before the foundation.
Before the world,
Chosen
Ephesians 1:4.
Chosen before the foundation.
The record cannot reach it. Chosen
Before the foundation.
you were chosen
Chosen
before anything existed.
to be chosen.
For
Chosen
before the foundation,
Chosen before the foundation.
for the foundation. Dogwood winter, the frost that comes after the bloom. When you thought the cold was over, and it walks right back in the room. But the dogwood keeps on blooming, and so will I, and so will you. Yeah, old folks around here got a name for a cold snap in April, when the dogwoods are already blooming, white and full and fragile, and the temperature drops overnight and frost lays on the petals. And you think it's gonna kill them, think the whole spring settles. Back to winter, they call it dogwood winter, and it comes every year without exception, after warmth, after the suns. Been out a while and you put your coat away and started thinking spring has come for good. And then the cold down hard, it sneaks back in for 3 days, and the flowers take the freeze, and it feels like a betrayal by the whole year, if you please. And that is the most accurate picture of the Christian life that I have ever found. Cause after I survived the knife of my addiction, after 2 years sober, after the bloom of a life reborn, of a marriage restored, of a room full of people who believed in me again, the frost came. My best friend died, my mother got the diagnosis, and the same old voice came whispering through the cold. And maybe I've been fooled, that the spring was just a setup, that the bloom was overruled by a winter that was never really over, just delayed. And I sat in my truck in a hospital lot, and I nearly made the oldest mistake I know. Cause the dogwood winter hits the hardest when you've already bloomed, when you've already let your guard rest. Dogwood winter, the frost that comes after the bloom, when you thought the cold was over, and it walks right back in the room. But the dogwood keeps on blooming, and so will I, and so will you. Yeah. But here's the thing about a dogwood, here's what the old folks know: the frost comes every single year, and the dogwood keeps on blooming though. It never once failed to bloom because of a late freeze. It just stands there in the cold with its white flowers in the breeze, and takes the frost, loses a few petals till the ground. And when the cold snap passes, 3 days later it's still crowned and white, still standing, still blooming, still doing what it does. Because dogwood don't decide to bloom based on the weather, it just was made to bloom. When it blooms in the winter, don't get a vote. In John 16:33, in this world you'll have trouble, he wrote, not might have, will have. The frost is coming, it's a promise, but take heart, I have overcome the world. That's the honest, not that the cold won't come, but that it doesn't get the final word over what's already blooming in you. And my survival through that hospital parking lot, through my friend's grave, through the fear, was just a man standing in a dogwood winter, holding on the end to the cold past. In the past it always passes, song of songs, 2:11, the winter is past, the rain is over, and along the whole ridge in May, the dogwoods bloom like nothing ever froze. And that's my testimony, standing here, and here's how it goes. I have bloomed, and I have frozen, and I have bloomed again. And the freezing never once undid the blooming, not back then, not now, not ever. Cause the one who made me bloom is stronger than the frost that comes to kill it. I just had to stand there longer.
Dogwood winter, the frost that comes after the bloom.
When you thought the cold was over, and it walks right back in the room, but the dogwood keeps on blooming, and so will I, and so will you.
Stand there in the cold, don't you close up.
Stand there in the cold,
Don't you close up.
stand there.
Oh, don't you close up.
The frost don't get to say
But you are,
what you are.
what you are.
The freeze don't get to name the scar. You were made to bloom, so bloom in the cold. Lose a petal, keep a hold. 3 days pass and the sun comes through, and your whole ridge white with the likes of you. Dogwood, when I do your worst, the bloom was here before the frost, and the bloom will be here first.
Dogwood winter,
You can't kill what God has grown,
the frost can come and take a petal.
but the tree still stands alone.
Blooming through the cold and after.
And I'm blooming, and I'm home. The don't last, and I'm still blooming, still blooming. I want to present a ledger, not metaphorically, an actual accounting of promises made and promises kept across the specific years of a specific life. And I want to tell you what the audit found before I tell you the single line that summarizes it. The promise made in a hard year that I would not be abandoned, kept. He was there through the specific coordinates of the hardest address I've lived at, not after. In it, the promise that all things work for good for those who love him, kept over the long timeline that the short timeline couldn't see yet, but the long one confirmed. The promise that the plans he has are for welfare and not for evil, kept. Not in every detail I would have designed, but in every outcome that the plan produced when followed.
Joshua 21:45.
Not one of all the Lord's
Good promises fail.
everyone was fulfilled.
Everyone.
The audit confirms it.
Every promise kept.
Not one failed.
Every promise kept.
Joshua 21:45.
Every promise kept.
Across the hard years,
Every promise kept.
on the long timeline,
Every promise kept.
the audit is in. The ledger has no unfulfilled entries.
Every promise kept.
Everyone.
Every promise kept.
The promise that it goes before into every situation that arrives before I do.
Kept.
The evidence is in every room I walked into, where something had already moved before I arrived to address it. The promise of his peace, guarding the heart and mind,
Kept.
in the rooms that should have produced nothing but anxiety and didn't, because the peace showed up before I asked for it. The promise that he finishes what he started, kept. The work is still in progress, which is itself the evidence that it hasn't been abandoned. Still in process, it's still being kept.
Not one failed, not one.
The record is clean
Every promise made.
against every circumstance that tested whether it would hold, held everyone.
Every promise kept.
Not one failed. Joshua 21:45.
Everyone fulfilled. Every promise kept.
The record is clean, hard year,
Long timelines. Every promise kept.
still in process. Is itself a kept promise.
Every promise kept.
Everyone.
Every promise kept.
I'm gonna tell you a single line that the full audit produced. Not one of all the Lord's good promises failed,
Everyone.
was fulfilled. And I have lived long enough to add my own testimony to the Joshua record
Not one.
of the specific promises he made to me in the seasons that tested the most severely failed.
Not one.
And the ledger I've been keeping has never required an entry in the unfulfilled column. And I've been looking for one to add to see if the record would hold, and it has held every time I tested it.
Every promise kept. Every promise kept. Not one failed.
Joshua 21:45.
Still true. Every promise kept.
Across my specific years,
Hard seasons, tested promises. Every promise kept.
the ledger is clean.
Not one unfulfilled entry. Every promise kept.
Everyone.
Every promise kept.
Everyone.
Every promise kept. Everyone, not one failed.
Every promise kept. The record is clean.
Every promise kept.
Moses asked to see God's glory, the full thing, not a glimpse, everything. And God's response was both a yes and a protection. He said, I will put you in a cleft in the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Because the full glory would have been too much for Moses to survive. I prayed Moses' prayer, show me your glory, show me everything, hold nothing back. I wanna see the full reality of who you are. And I prayed it with the confidence of a man who didn't understand what he was asking for. Because the full glory of God is not survivable by a person in their current condition. And the request to see everything is a request that requires protection to fulfill without destroying the one who asked. And God's response to Moses was not no, and it wasn't an unprotected yes. It was a cleft in the rock, a hiding place and a hand over the opening until the glory passed by. He hid me in the rock, covered me with his hand, not to keep me from the glory, to keep me alive through it. The hiding was the mercy that let me survive what I asked to see. Hidden in the cleft. Exodus 33. Hidden in the cleft, covered by his hand.
I asked to see his glory.
He hid me in the rock to survive it.
Hidden in the cleft, the hiding was mercy. Hidden in the cleft,
his hand over the opening
until the glory passed by.
And I've come to understand that a lot of the hiding I resented in my life, the seasons of being tucked away out of sight, not yet released into the visibility I thought I wanted, was the cleft in the rock. It was protection from a glory too heavy for the version of me that existed in those seasons. And the hand over the opening that felt like restriction was actually mercy, keeping me alive through an exposure I had asked for but couldn't survive yet. The hiddenness was not rejection, it was the cleft, and the cleft was the only way to give me what I asked for without destroying me with the answer.
The hiding was the mercy,
the cleft was the protection,
his hand over the opening,
let me survive the glory,
hidden in the cleft,
kept alive to it.
hidden in the cleft,
Exodus 33.
covered by his hand.
I asked to see his glory,
He hid me to survive it.
hidden in the cleft
The hiding was mercy
until the glory passed by. So if you're in a season of being hidden, tucked away, not yet released into the visibility you've been asking for, I want to offer you the cleft in the rock. The hiddenness might be the only way he can give you what you're asking for without destroying the version of you that asked for it. He's not rejecting you by hiding you, he's protecting you with the cleft, then his hand over the opening until you can't survive the glory you've been praying to see. Trust the cleft, the hand over the opening is mercy, not restriction.
hidden in the cleft,
Exodus 33.
covered by his hand.
The hiding was mercy,
I asked to see his glory,
he hid me to survive it.
hidden in the cleft,
His
hand over the opening
till the glory passed by. Trust the cleft, it's mercy.
hidden in the cleft, hidden in the cleft, hidden in the cleft,
Hidden in the cleft,
covered by his hand.
the hiding was mercy
Hidden in the cleft,
until the glory passed by. Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, two things they handed down. One taught me how to bleed, one taught me how grace gets found. And I had to choose which one to carry. Mama kept a Bible on the nightstand, worn in dog ear, underlining 3 different inks across the decades. Persevered through every storm my daddy brought home from the bar at night. She'd be reading songs by lamplight, trying to pray away the fright. Cause daddy had a belt and daddy had a temper meaner than a cottonmouth in August and a fifth to make it keener. I learned the sound of his truck tires like a prey. Learns the predator, learned to read his moves like well, to learn which nights were deadlier. And the belt wasn't the worst of it, it was the words that flayed. The you ain't worth the powder, take the blow you away, he'd say. And I soaked that poison and grew up and wore it like a coat. Became the very thing I fear with my own hand in my own throat. But mama's Bible said that to the other voice, the quiet one, saying you're fearfully and wonderfully made, beloved son. 2 inheritances wrestling for the deed of my own soul. The belt that said I'm worthless in the book that made me whole. Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, 2 roads from the same home. One was carved in fear and welts, one in grace that I could own. I carried both for 30 years till I had to choose my path. Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, I finally laid down the wrath. Yeah, I became a daddy too, and the belt was in my hand. One night my boy spilled something and I raised it, and I am ashamed to say I almost, but I caught my own reflection in his terrified little eyes. Saw my daddy's same complexion, saw the cottonmouth, the cycle, the inheritance of pain about to pour into my son, the same poison, the same chain. And I dropped that belt like it was burning, fell down on my knees, and I begged the God of Mama's Bible, break this curse off me please. Ezekiel 18:20, the son don't bear the father's sin. I've been reading it like doom, but it's a door to enter in. Boy, don't have to carry what the father couldn't lay down. The chain can break in 1 generation, the curse can hit the ground. And I chose right there on my knees with my son, watching scared that my house would not be ruled by the belt my daddy bared, but by the Bible mama clung to through the violence and the smell of whiskey. I chose the book, I finally dropped the Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, 2 roads from the same home. One was carved in fear and welts, one in grace that I could own. I carried both for 30 years till I had to choose my path. Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, I finally laid down the wrath. Yeah, here's the part that Grace wrote that I never could've authored. My daddy old and dying in a bed, the anger all but slaughtered by the years and the disease. And I came to sit beside him, carrying Mama's Bible, the same one I brought it to confide in. And I read him Psalm 103, he forgives all your sin, heals all your disease. And I watched the tears begin to roll down the face of the man who terrified my youth. And he grabbed my hand and whispered the most unexpected truth. I learned that belt from my own daddy, I never knew no other way. And I'm sorry son, I'm sorry, first time I ever heard him say. And Joshua 24:15 was on my lips like fire. As for me and my house, we serve the Lord. And a whole entire chain of fathers broke right there in that hospice room. My daddy gave his life to Christ 3 days before the tomb. So I carry Mama's Bible now, and the belt's a memory. And the curse died with my daddy, grace had the final say in me. Mama's Bible won the war, the belt's hung up for good. My house serves a different Lord, the way I always knew we could. I carried both for 30 years, but grace chose me, my path. Mama's Bible, daddy's belt, love outlasted all the rest. As for me and my house, we serve the Lord, now I'm home. Buried Earl on a Tuesday, and he handed me the torch. My sponsor's funeral, standing room, the whole recovery hall came out. 30 years he pulled men from the tomb. Now we're singing him on out. He fought the good fight, finished the race, and now I carry what he was about. Earl died clean, 31 years sober, that's the headline of his story. Cancer got the body, but the soul went home in glory. And I drove to that funeral home not knowing what I'd find. Figured a handful of family, maybe a few of his kind. But the parking lot was overflowing, cars parked down the road, and inside it was standing room. The place was glowing with the faces of the saved, and I mean that word exactly, cause every man in that room was a man Earl had pulled back seat from the edge of the same cliff that Earl himself had hung from decades back before he turned his whole entire life around. Son, the funeral director said he never seen a crowd this size for a retired mill worker, and he didn't realize that Earl wasn't just a mill worker. He was a fisher of men, pulled drowning alcoholics out the water then and again for 31 straight years, one desperate soul at a time. Never charged a dime, never saw the stage, never a sign, just a flip phone and a willingness to answer when it rang at 3 a.m. at 4 a.m. whenever the desperate sang this song of I'm about to use. Earl talked me off this ledge, and he talked and he listened and he'd drive to the edge of whatever town, whatever bar, whatever bottom they made, and he'd sit with them in the parking lot till the craving delayed long enough to get them to a meeting, get them to the rooms. Earl was a one-man resurrection from 100 different tombs. My sponsor's funeral standing room, the whole recovery hall came out. 30 years he pulled men from the tomb. Now we're singing him on out. He fought the good fight, finished the race, and now I carry what he was about. They opened up the floor for folks to speak, and one by one they came. Grown men, hard men, weeping, each one saying the same. Earl saved my life, I wouldn't be here. I owe him every day that I've been sober, every birthday, every debt I couldn't pay. And I sat there listening, and I realized with a start that I was one of dozens Earl that carried each of our hearts like we were the only one. That's the gift that great ones give. They make you feel like you're the reason that they chose to live. And serving in the preacher read 2 Timothy 4:7. I fought the good fight, finished the race, kept faith, now he's in heaven. And they hit me like a freight train sitting in that funeral chair. Who's gonna answer the phone now? Who's gonna drive there at 3 a.m. when the next desperate drunk is on the ledge? Earl's gone, the torch is dropping, somebody's got a pledge to pick it up. And then I felt it clear as Earl's own gravel voice, 2 Timothy 2:2. Entrust to faithful men, the choice was mine. Earl poured into me, so I pour into the next. That's the whole design of it, the discipleship context. The sponsor raised the sponsors, or the chain of grace goes cold. So I stood up at that funeral and I made a vow of control. But certain Earl, I got it, I'll answer when it rings. I'll be the man you were for me, I'll do the harder things. And I gave a young man my number that very afternoon. 6 days sober, shaking, and the torch caught fire soon. My sponsor's funeral standing room, but the work he did ain't done. He pulled me from my own dark tomb. Now I pull the next lost one. He fought the good fight, finished the race, and I'll carry it till my race is won. I got the phone now, I got it. Nobody claps for the caregiver in the small hours, in the dark, changing sheets and holding hands while the whole world's fast asleep in the park. But there's a God who sees in secret, and he's writing down every mark. My sister does it all for mama, not around the clock. since the stroke, since the diagnosis, since we watched the doctor talk. And that low voice doctors use when the news ain't good. And somebody had to step up, and my sister said she would. So she moved back into the house she swore she never living. Quit her job, put her own life on the shelf, and started giving everything. The mornings, the medications, the long nights, the bathing and the feeding, and the endless little fights to keep a dying woman comfortable and clean and calm. And nobody sees it, nobody, just my sister and my mom. No applause, no paycheck, no promotion, no award, just the grind of love that nobody's watching. Unexplored, and 90% of caregivers, the surveys say burn out. 63 million of them in this country, and there's no doubt that my sister's one of them. Running on empty and on faith, doing the realest work there is, and doing it in a place where nobody can see her, where there's no likes and no shares, just a daughter and a mother and the weight that no one bears with her. And I called her last week and she cried on the phone, said I'm so tired and I feel so completely alone. And I know it's holy work, but nobody sees me do it. I just wish that somebody, anybody knew I was going through it. Nobody claps for the caregiver in the small hours in the dark, changing sheets and holding hands while the whole world's fast asleep in the park. But there's a God who sees in secret, and he's writing down every mark. Yeah. And I told her what I'm telling you, best I knew to say. Matthew 25:40, whatever you did, Jesus on that day. For the least of these, the sick, the weak, the ones that couldn't pay you back, you did it unto me. And mama, in a way, is the least of these right now, the helpless and the frail. And every unseen thing my sister does won't ever fail to be seen, cause the God who sees in secret sees it all. Every 3 a.m. she rises when she hears our mother call. Every sheet she changes, every pill, every spoon of broth, every tear she cries alone in the bathroom. He keeps count of both the labor and the loneliness. In Galatians 6 says don't grow weary in well-doing, for in due time in the ways we can't yet see there'll be a harvest. There'll be a reaping for the ones who sowed in secret, for the caregivers weeping in the unwatched rooms of America, the daughters and the sons, the wives and husbands holding on when everybody else is gone. And I told my sister you're not invisible to him. The applause you never get down here is being saved into him. They'll sing over you in glory as louder than any crowd, and the God who sees in secret is gonna say your name out loud. So if you're a caregiver hidden, tired, and unknown, hear this. You're the closest thing to Jesus that your loved ones ever shown. And heaven sees you, heaven claps, heaven keeps the score. Nobody claps for the caregiver, but the one who matters is evermore. Nobody claps for the caregiver, but the angel's leaning close. He sees the unseen labor, he counts what matters most. There's a God who sees in secret, and he loves the caregiver most.
He sees you, he sees you. Keep going, the harvest is coming. He sees you, keep going, the harvest is coming.
20 feet up in the dark, and he was already there. Before like 4:30 in the morning, and I climbed that ladder in the dark. 20 feet up an old white oak to withstand my daddy marked. 30 years ago, plywood floor and a rail, that's it. Sat down in the cold with a thermos, and I waited for it. For the light, for the deer, for whatever comes at dawn. And I didn't bring my phone, that's the thing, that's what was gone. First time in 15 years, I sat somewhere for hours, with no screen, no music, no bottle, no distraction, no powers to numb a filler, occupy the silence in my head. And I wanna tell you honestly, I was terrified instead of peaceful, cause a man who's been running his whole life from the quiet finds out fast the quiet's where the truth is, and he can't deny it. The silence. So it got quiet, real quiet. The kind of quiet where you hear your own blood in your own ears, where the woods start to appear. Sound by sound, a squirrel, a branch, the wind through the pin oak. And underneath it all, a silence so complete it almost spoke. And I sat there and it didn't fight, it had nowhere to go. 20 feet up in the dark with the whole world moving slow. And all the things I've been out running came and sat down with me. Every failure, every shame, every man I meant to be. And I didn't reach for anything, cause there wasn't nothing to reach. And I just sat with it all and let the silence start to teach. What noise it kept me from hearing for 30-something years. That the ache I'd been medicating wasn't nothing God could not hear. And 1 Kings 19, not in the wind, not the earthquake, not the fire, but after all of it, a gentle whisper, a still small voice, entire. In Psalm 46, verse 10, be still and know that I am God. I read that verse 100 times, thought it was not. To someone asked a thing that didn't apply to a man like me, but it's a command with a promise, be still, and then you'll see. And I was still involuntarily still 20 feet up a tree, and into that stillness, quiet as breathing, he came to me. No thunder, no lightning, just a knowing that settled in my chest, like a hand on the shoulder, like a father saying rest. And the sun came up over that ridge, and the woods went golden glowing. And I sat there weeping in a deer stand with the light on me, knowing that he'd been waiting the whole time for me to be quiet enough to hear what he'd been saying underneath all the noisy stuff. I never shot a deer the morning, never even raised a gun. Just sit there in the gold light with the Father and the Son. And I've hunted every season since, and I don't much care to shoot. I go up in that stand to be still and to listen and to root myself in the only silence where I ever heard him plain. Some folks find God in a church house. I found him in the rain, in cold and dark of a deer stand my daddy built for me. 20 feet up in old white oak. Be still and you will see the deer stand where I met God. 20 feet up in the cold, never fired a single shot. Just sat still and got told, be still and know that I am God. That's the whisper in the gold. Be still, be still. I'm listening now. Last house on the left behind, end of a dead-end road, where I hit the bottom of my life and set down the whole load. But the last house I got left behind became the first step home. There's a house at the end of Sawmill Road, last one on the left. Little rain, no pain, no peeling, where I ended up bereft of everything. The family gone, the money gone, the pride. Just me and the mattress on the floor and the emptiness inside. It was the kind of place you end up when you run out of places. The last stop on the dead-end road, the last of the last graces. And I moved in there at my lowest, figured it would be the last house I'd ever live in before they came and buried me. Cause the dead-end road feels final, feels like nowhere left to go. Feels like the story's over, feels like the closing show. And I spent my darkest months in that last house on the left, counting up my failures, feeling God had left left me cleft from every hope of something better. Till one gray afternoon, sitting on that bare mattress in that empty rented room, I picked up a Gideon Bible somebody left behind, and it fell open to John 14, and the words rewired my mind. The last house on the left behind. End of a dead end road, where I hit the bottom of my life. I set down the whole load, but the last house I got left behind became the first step home. John 14:2. In my father's house are many rooms, and I go to prepare a place for you. And through the gloom of the last house on the dead end road, I saw it clear at last that the house I was living in wasn't the future, wasn't the past. It was just a stop-away station, the place where I would turn from the dead end road I've been on to the road I had to learn. Cause here's what grace revealed to me on that bare mattress low. Every house I'd ever left behind, every place I let go, the bars, the trap houses, the wreckage, the homes I torn apart were all just houses on the left behind the wreckage of my heart. But God had a house to a father's house with room to spare, a place prepared specifically for me. Already there in the dead end road I thought was final was actually the start of the road that led back home to the house God set apart. And the last house on the left, the bottom, the end of the line, became the first house on the journey home, the first good sign. Cause you can't start the road back home till you reach the actual end of the road you're on is killing you. That dead end is the bend where the story turns, where the prodigal decides to rise and leave the last house on the left and lift up his eyes toward the Father's house with the many rooms and the light in the window. In Luke 15:7, all of heaven throws a party, don't you know? Oh, I'm sinner coming home. So when I left that house at last, drove off that dead end road toward grace, the angels threw a blast. And I don't know where all my roads will wind before I'm through, but I know the final house ain't the last one on the left. It's the one that's new. The last house on the left behind. End of a dead end road was where I finally turned around. Sat down the whole load. The last house I got left behind became the first step home. Every house I left behind was just a room I had to leave. Every dead end was a doorway I just had to learn to believe led somewhere to the Father's house, the one that's standing still, with a room He had prepared for me, a light upon a hill. And I'm driving toward it now, off the dead and off the left, toward that house that grace prepared for a sinner so bereft. The last house on the left behind is behind me for good. I'm headed to the Father's house, finally understood. Not the last house on the left behind. On the ring, but she killed the vow, and God kept us both. The betrayal, the lowest thing I ever did, wasn't the drinking or the lying. It was the morning that I took her wedding ring while she was crying. In the other room, not knowing, and I slipped it off the dresser where she'd set it doing dishes, and I pawned it for a presser of a need that wasn't needed. Was a sickness wearing needs face. $40 for the diamond that I placed there with God's grace. 8 years earlier, sworn before a preacher and a daddy that I cherish and protect, and now I'm selling off the ratty. Little symbol of that promise for a fix that lasts an hour, and I'll never forget her face when she found out the way it soured. From confusion and a heartbreak into something close to grief. You pawn my ring, my wedding ring, and there's no relief. No excuse, no explanation, just a man who sunk so low he'd sell the covenant itself for one more poison go. the vow she kept. And here's where the story turns, where the grace begins to enter. Cause she had every right to lead, to make me the dead center of a courtroom and a settlement, to take the keys and run. And nobody on God's earth would've blamed her, not a one. But she didn't, Lord, she didn't. She sat me down that night with her hands shaking, tears falling, but her voice steady and right. And she said, I married you for better and for worse, and this is worse. This is the worst it's ever been, but I ain't breaking first. I made a vow to God, not just to you, and I aim to keep it. You're sick and I'm gonna fight for you, even when you won't accept it. But you're getting help tomorrow, or the kids and I go stay with my mother till you do. I love you and I won't enable. Pray Malachi 2:14. She was the wife of my covenant, and she honored what I trampled. Stayed the course while I was hovering over the abyss. And keeping the vow I'd pawned was the rope that pulled me back, was the first gray light of dawn. I got clean, it took 2 tries, but she stayed through the relapse too. And the day I got my 1-year chip, I had a gift for her, brand new. Well, not brand new, I gone back to that same pawn shop. Asked around, tracked the ring, took 3 more owners till the actual one I found. Bought it back for 10 times what I sold it, didn't care the cost. Got down on one knee again and asked to recover what I lost. And I slid that same ring back on the finger, both of us a wreck, crying in a pawn shop parking lot, my arms around her neck. And I said, I pawned this ring with you, you never pawned a vow. You kept it when I couldn't, and I'm gonna keep it now. Ecclesiastes 4:12, a cord of 3 strands, holes when 2 would've snapped, cause God was the 3rd strand in the folds of a marriage that should've ended, that the bottle should've wrecked. But a praying wife and a faithful God kept the vow I couldn't protect. Now that ring means more than the first time it's been to hell and back. Got pawned to redeem, like a husband, like the whole entire track of our covenant, 3-stranded, woven back tighter than before. The ring I pawned, the vow she kept, and the God who restored. The ring I pawned, the vow you kept, the cord that wouldn't break, 3 strands held when 2 would snap. God, you and the love we'd make, I pawned the ring, but you kept the vow, and grace kept us both somehow. The ring I pawned, the vow you kept, is stronger in the broken now. I want to describe a place. The Psalm 91:1 calls the shelter of the Most High, the shadow of the Almighty. And the word it uses for the person who lives there is dwells.
Not visits,
Dwells, not passes through on hard days.
dwells,
Not retreats to in crisis,
dwells
as in lives there,
permanently.
as the address. Yeah. Yeah. I've been to the secret place as a crisis destination, a specific address I run to when the outside world has exceeded my capacity. And I stay until the capacity is partially restored, and then I go back out and the outside world does what the outside world does, and I return to the crisis destination and repeat the cycle. And I wanna tell you what's wrong with that version, the crisis destination version of the secret place is not what Psalm 91:1 describes. The Psalm describes dwelling, which is different from visiting in every way that matters for what it produces in the person.
I've been a visitor
To a place I was designed to live in, and the gap between visiting and dwelling is the gap between crisis management and actual rest.
the secret place.
Psalm 91,
1,
the shelter of the Most
the
High.
secret place.
Dwell there, not visit.
Dwell,
The shadow of the Almighty.
the secret place.
This is the address, not the crisis destination, the permanent address.
The secret place.
Dwell there.
Dwell there.
The cost of living outside the secret place and visiting it in crisis is the specific cost of an unprotected life. Not unprotected from difficulty, unprotected from the interpretation of difficulty that The world's address provides when you live outside the secret place.
The world's address,
Just to define what the circumstances mean.
the world's address,
Has a specific and limited vocabulary for what difficulty means, and it involves a lot of words like permanent and abandoned, and evidence in the secret place has a different vocabulary for the same circumstances, and the vocabulary changes what the circumstances are able to do.
to the person they're happening to.
Whoever dwells, whoever, the qualification is dwelling, not achievement,
Dwelling,
not performance,
Dwelling.
just living there. The rest comes with the dwelling.
the secret place,
Psalm 91,
dwell
in the shelter of the Most
the
High,
secret place,
the shadow of the Almighty,
dwell there,
not visit,
dwell there,
the secret place. Rest comes with the dwelling. The vocabulary changes.
when you live there.
The secret place. This is the whole Volverseting in one declaration. The morning comes after the night, and it comes to the person dwelling in the shelter, known by name, specific and personal, and the name is spoken in the secret place. The joy of the Lord is the strength of the dweller. The courage to stand is available to the one who knows where they live. The God who sees the sparrow sees the dweller from no distance at all. Living water wells up in you when you dwell near the source, built to last. The rock foundation is the secret place itself. Provision in the desert is delivered to the address of the person dwelling in the shelter.
Chosen before the foundation,
Chosen for this.
for dwelling,
Here, the beauty of holiness is what the dweller reflects from living near the beautiful one, rooted and grounded in love. The roots go deepest in the secret place. The grounding holds longest in the shadow of the Almighty.
all of it,
Requires the dwelling, not the visiting.
the dwelling,
The address, the permanent home. This is the secret place.
this is where you live.
From here,
Everything else,
makes sense, so I've changed how I think about my address. The secret place is not where I go. When the outside exceeds capacity, it is where I live. And the outside world is where I go.
from the secret place,
With the vocabulary
and the rest,
in the shadow
and the specific protection.
that the dwelling produces, I live here now. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High
Will rest,
in the shadow of the Almighty,
that is the address,
and I am
the
whole.
secret place,
Psalm 91,
dwell there,
not visit,
dwell,
the shelter of the Most
the
High.
secret place,
Morning comes here,
known by name,
here, joy of the Lord, here,
courage to stand,
from here,
sparrows seen,
from here,
living water,
here,
built on rock,
here,
provision,
here, chosen before the foundation to live here. I want to describe the geography of Psalm 23:4, because the geography matters. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, through, not around, not bypassed, through, and the through is the whole thing. The valley has specific coordinates, you know when you're in it. Not because of the darkness exactly, because of the specific shape of the darkness. The valley walls closing in a particular way that the open field doesn't. And the sound is different in a valley, more enclosed, more specific, more present. And I've been in the valley that Psalm 23 describes, not metaphorically, the specific coordinates of the worst season I have lived through, where the shadow of death was not a metaphor, but a presence in the room. And now I walk through it, and I wanna tell you what I found on the other side.
he was in the valley,
Not at the entrance waiting for me to exit in the valley. His rod and staff comforted me while I was still in it. The comfort was in the through, not after.
the valley and the mountain,
Both of them,
the valley and the mountain,
he's in both. Psalm 23, through the darkest valley, not around, through. was in bold. And here's the thing about standing on the mountain that you can only know from having been in the valley first. The view from the mountain is shaped entirely by the specific valley you walk through to get to it. The mountain looks different to the man who climbed it from the valley floor than it does to the man who was airlifted to the summit. Because the valley floor gave him specific information about the height of what he's standing on, and about who was walking beside him when the walls were closing in. And the valley is not the detour from the journey. The valley is the road that makes the mountain worth standing on. Through the valley, not around it. The through is the road to the mountain, and he is in the through. The whole through. Every step of the through.
The valley and the mountain.
Both. Psalm 23 through, not around.
The valley and the mountain.
He was present in the valley, which is why the mountain is real.
The valley and the mountain.
He was in both. He is in both.
Both of them, both.
I don't regret the valley, and I want to say that carefully, because I'm not grateful for the pain in it. I'm grateful for the presence I discovered in it that I couldn't have discovered in the open field. The valley gave me the specific knowledge of who's with me when there was nowhere else to look. And that knowledge is the thing I carry up the mountain that makes the standing on it different from what it would have been without the valley education.
The valley and the mountain.
Both. Through the darkest valley, not around.
He was there.
His rod and staff.
The valley and the mountain.
The mountain means more because of the valley walk.
The valley and the mountain.
He was in both.
He was in both.
He's still in both. Through the valley,
Valley and the mountain.
not around. And he was in
The valley and the mountain.
both of them. Him. Deuteronomy 6. God tells Israel, you will live in cities you did not build, houses filled with good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. And I've been thinking about the wells I've been drinking from my whole life that I didn't dig. My grandmother prayed for me by name for years before I was old enough to know what prayer was. And I've been drinking from the well of those prayers my whole life. A well I didn't dig, that she dug on her knees in a room I never saw for a grandson she was investing in before he could say thank you. My mentor sacrificed things to pour into me that I didn't fully understand until years later, when I had something to pour into someone else and realized the cost of the pouring. And I've been drinking from the well of that sacrifice, a well I didn't dig, that he dug at a cost I'm still discovering. Wells I did not dig,
Vineyards I did not plant.
I've been drinking my whole life from the labor of people who dug for someone they were investing in before the someone could thank them.
The wells we didn't dig.
Deuteronomy 6,
The wells we didn't dig.
that others dug for us,
My grandmother's
my
prayer.
mentor sacrifice.
The wells we didn't dig.
I drink from them daily, and I'm digging wells right now for people I'll never meet.
The wells we didn't dig.
The inheritance of provision. Here's where the recognition becomes a responsibility, because if I've been drinking from wells I didn't dig, then the only honest response is to dig wells for people I'll never see drink from. And I'm digging them now, the prayers I pray for children who aren't born yet, the investments I make in people who won't understand the cost until they have something to pour into someone else, the foundations I'm laying that I won't live to see built on. And there's a specific freedom in digging a well you never drink from, Because it takes the ego out of the digging. You're not doing it for the recognition, but being thanked. You're doing it because someone dug for you. And the only way to honor that is to dig for someone else.
Digging wells I'll never drink from, for people I'll never meet.
Because someone dug for me
Before I could thank them, the wells we didn't dig.
become the wells we dig for others.
The wells we didn't dig.
Deuteronomy 6, that others dug for us.
My grandmother's prayer.
My mentor's sacrifice.
The wells we didn't dig.
I drink daily and I'm digging out for the unseen. The wells we didn't dig. Somewhere there's a person you will never meet who will drink from a well you're digging right now. Without knowing, they'll drink from it. The prayer you prayed today, the sacrifice you made this year, the foundation you laid that won't be built on in your lifetime. You are a link in a chain of provision that started before you and continues after you. You drink from the past and you dig for the future, and the drinking and the digging are the same act of gratitude for the wells you didn't dig that someone dug for you.
The wells we didn't dig.
Deuteronomy 6,
The wells we didn't dig.
that others dug for us.
My grandmother's prayer.
My mentor's sacrifice.
The wells we didn't dig.
Drinking daily,
Digging now for the unseen.
the inheritance of provision.
The wells we didn't dig.
And the wells we dig,
The wells we didn't dig.
the wells we didn't dig.
The wells we didn't dig.
Wells I didn't dig,
That others dug for me.
and I dig for the unseen.
The wells we didn't dig.
Drinking and digging, the same act of gratitude. Was out on the porch, gave away what she didn't have. Widow's porch, widow's mite, poorest hands I ever seen. Gave away her last that night, gave it all and gave it clean. Out of her poverty, she put in everything. And she taught me what giving means. Yeah. Miss Adam Mae Pruitt lived at the end of my street with a 40-year social security, could barely eat. Little shotgun house, a porch swing, screen door with a hole, and she was the poorest person I have ever known. Whole life on nothing but every Sunday, and I mean everyone. She cook enough for 20, though she cooked for none but herself and whoever wandered up her steps that afternoon. And half the neighborhood wandered up and left their full. And soon as you sit down, she put a plate in front of you and say, "There's plenty, baby, eat," when there was never plenty. No way, on God's earth she had plenty. She had cornmeal and a chicken and a garden and a faith, and somehow the pot kept thickening. And I ate at that woman's table through my worst, my drunk, my low, and my own family wouldn't have me when I had nowhere to go. And I never once thought about what it cost her to feed me, never thought about a light bill, never thought I ought to be ashamed to take a meal from a woman with nothing left. Just took it like I took everything, a taker and a theft of a man. And the day I found out she was skipping her own supper, on a Sunday she fed the neighborhood. That day I came unstuck. Brother found her medicine bottles empty in the trash can by the drive, 'cause she chose feeding us over, filling her prescription to stay alive. And I sat down on that porch step and I wept into my hands for a woman with 2 mites who gave away her whole life's plans. Oh, widow's porch, widow's mite, poorest hands I ever seen. Gave away her last that night, gave it all and gave it clean. Out of her poverty, she put in everything. and she taught me what giving means. Yeah. Mark 12:41. Jesus watching at the treasury. Rich folks throwing in their surplus, making a show of charity. And a poor widow came and dropped in 2 small copper coins worth about a penny. And he called his disciples and he joined them all around and said, this woman put in more than all of them, 'cause they gave out of their wealth, but she out of her poverty condemned herself to hunger. She put in everything she had to live on. Everything, not a tithe, not a portion, all she had to give gone. And I've been sitting on Miss Ida's porch, eating the widow's mite for years and never seen it, never understood the height and depth of what she gave, 'cause she never made a sound about it. Never once said, this cost me, never once let on no doubt of it. She just kept cooking. And James 1:27 says, pure religion is looking after widows in their distress. And there's the vision, that I'd had it upside down my whole life. I thought Miss Ida was the one who needed looking after, when the truth was I'd been the widow all along, the one in distress, the poor. And she was a rich one on that porch behind that screen door. Rich in the only currency that heaven never counts. Rich in the giving of the last. Rich in small amounts that cost her everything. She died 4 years ago this spring, and half the county came, and I carried her and I sang. Widow's porch, widow's mite, richest woman I have known, gave away her last that night. Never once did she bemoan. Out of her poverty, she put in everything. Now I set my table like her own. There's plenty, baby, eat, that's what she'd say. There's always